channel. Today I am here with Stassi and we are going to be talking about PETPLAN Pet Insurance. Now I did a video on this insurance plan that I have a while back, but I just received a letter from them with some very important changes. So I figured I would bring you guys an updated video just to keep you up to date on the changes that PETPLAN is going through right now or has done. So as you know, or if you haven't seen that video, I strongly believe in having pet insurance for your pets. They are our babies, they're members of our family, and in today's world where veterinary care is so very expensive, I just find that it's easier to pay a small premium every month and be rest assured that we have the money that we need in case, you know, illnesses or injuries happen, and they do happen. It is so very expensive in today's world with all of the increasing cost of veterinary care. Now, just in my personal experience, a couple of things that have happened to me in the past. I've had a cat that ate ribbon or ate a piece of ribbon, and that bill was over $1,200. I've had urinary tract infections like stones and things like that in dogs and cats that have cost me $2,000 per pet. And Bristol, who was my Yorkie that passed away last year, she had a neck issue and she didn't even have surgery, and her care was well over $5,000. So I was so very glad to have the pet insurance because all I paid was my deductible and my co-insurance, and the insurance took care of the rest. You do have to pay for it up front and they reimburse you, but you can do that on a credit card, and it's, you know, it's much better than having to, you know, pay for it all out of your savings, or if you happen to not have that kind of money, because you know, it's hard. We all are paying bills, and it's hard to come up with thousands of dollars unexpectedly. So insurance for our pets, I believe, is very, very important. So the company that I have is called PETPLAN, and it is a US company, so I'm not sure, I don't think that you can get it if you are not in the United States, but it is a company that I feel is the best pet insurance in the US. I have had, over the years, I have had several different other companies, but I have had PETPLAN probably for the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, something like that. It's been a while, it's been years that I switched over to PETPLAN. So like I said, they did send me a letter, and the letter said, we're changing. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are you changing to? Because I was so afraid that, you know, I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, they're changing everything and it's not gonna be as good of coverage. And so I was really, really scared, but I got on the phone with a happiness advisor, is how they call them, yesterday, and I got all of the info. So I am here to share the 411 with you. So I wrote down some notes so that I wouldn't forget everything, because it gets a little technical, but I wanted to explain. I'm gonna put Stassi down so that I can get to my notes, and I will explain the changes. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first thing is the reason why they are changing their policies is because they got a new underwriter. And if you're familiar with insurance, the insurance underwriter is basically who puts the policies in place for your insurance policies. Now, currently they are only changed over in 34 states, but the girl told me yesterday that they expect to have all 50 states within the next few months. The big states that they're waiting for, that they have a lot of business in now, is California, Texas, and Florida. So that is 3 very big states. However, you can still get PETPLAN insurance when you're in if you're in those states, and you will be just switched over whenever they get the new underwriting policies, you know, for your state, if it's not in effect in your state at this time. I live in Louisiana, and it is effect in Louisiana at this time. If you have PETPLAN insurance, you will be getting a letter, and it states that they give you like a scenario closest to what you have, and your new premium. In my case, my premiums went down, so that is a great thing. Now, what they've done is they've made their policies more customizable to fit like each customer's needs. They no longer have a silver, bronze, or gold level plan. Everything is called the Fetch plan. So everything works the same, and there's no more gold, silver, or bronze. There are no more caps or different reimbursement levels for specialty vets and ER visits. That was very, very good, because in my previous policy, I did have a 100% reimbursement level, but it was only 70% reimbursement if we went to a specialist or an ER. And a lot of times that's where I go to specialists. So even though I was paying for the 100% reimbursement, you know, when we would go to those specialty, you know, areas or even an ER vet, I was only getting reimbursed at 70%. So with the new policies, there are no more, everything reimbursement-wise is level across the board. So the coverages range as low as $2,500 a year, and it goes all the way up to unlimited. And that is the amount that PetPlan will pay for your policy. And of course, it depends on your premium as far as, you know, what you choose for your coverages. Now, what is the benefits of pet insurance? It helps with unexpected costs from accidents and injuries. As we all know, our pets can get into all sorts of things that they're not supposed to. They can fall off of things, they can break a leg, they can tear an ACL. There's just so many things that our pets can get into, and this is a great reason to have pet insurance. Now, it's very, very important that you get pet insurance before something happens to your pet, and before they get a pre-existing condition. Like all insurances, PetPlan does not cover any pre-existing conditions. So if your pet has diabetes or another, say, another illness, they're not going to cover diabetes. However, they will cover everything else. So even if your pet does have a pre-existing condition or two, I still think it's important that you get pet insurance, because it will cover accidents and will cover everything else that your pet does not have. So that means that you should really get pet insurance when your pet is a puppy, before they get any of those illnesses, or as soon as possible. I do highly recommend getting this pet insurance. Now, I wanted to talk to you about how PetPlan, the company that I have, differs from other pet insurances that I have had in the past. Now, this was many years ago, and to be honest, I am not sure if these companies still operate the same way. You can do your own research on that, but I would just tell you my experiences. So I had a couple of different other insurance companies, and the way that PetPlan is different is they do not, one of the things is they do not exclude breed-specific conditions. In the past, the other companies that I was with, if you had a dachshund and that dachshund had back problems, they excluded that because that's common in the breed. If you had an English Bulldog and the English Bulldog had skin problems and allergies, they excluded that because that's common in the breed. PetPlan does not do that, so there are no specific breed exclusions. So in my case, Harper is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and they are prone to have heart conditions, especially when they get, older. PetPlan will not exclude her from any kind of heart condition or heart care because she is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So that is huge. I mean, what good is it to have insurance if they're going to exclude you from the very things that you're going to probably need them for? So that is one thing that I really, really love about PetPlan. PetPlan also has no cap on certain conditions. So in Harper's case, if I need to, God forbid, if I need to spend my entire $15,000 a year on her heart, then there is no cap on that. So they don't say, well, you can spend so much on heart, so much on kidneys, so much on respiratory. I had a plan like that before I got PetPlan, and they broke the pet system into, or pet's body into systems, respiratory, cardiovascular. So even though you had a nice amount of annual coverage, they would only pay so much per illness. PetPlan does not do that, so no caps on each condition. PetPlan doesn't care what your money goes towards. The most important thing is just that you have the amount of coverage that you pay for every year, and that's it. Another great thing about PetPlan is that they have no reasonable and customary charges. So in the past, I had a company that said, well, your vet charged $300 for this, but it's not reasonable and customary. We took a poll over, these states of the United States, and this procedure or this whatever should only be $150. Well, guess what? I don't live anywhere else. I live here. And I go to my vet, and this is, I choose a vet based on, them, and I'm not going to choose another vet just because my insurance, wants me to go to the cheaper vet. So PetPlan has no reasonable and customary charges. They just look at your bill, they minus the things that they have to minus out, which I am going to explain in a second, and then you get a check for the rest. And that is a great, great thing. So you get to choose your own vet, not someone that has just cheaper prices and that's what they're going to pay. Now, another great thing about this new plan is what I mentioned before. You get the same reimbursement levels whether you go to a specialist or an ER or your regular vet. So that is huge to me as well. Another important difference between PetPlan and other companies is that when your insurance policy renews every year, and this is just customary, every insurance policy just automatically renews every year. But when it renews every year, it does not look at the previous year and see what kind of problems you had and then exclude them and say they are pre-existing for this next year. Yes, insurance companies actually do that. How absurd. Obviously, if you have a problem, such as a chronic problem, such as diabetes or heart issues, you're going to have them probably for the rest of your pet's life. And you're paying these premiums every year. You want to make sure that they're not just covered for the year that they are discovered, but throughout the rest of your pet's life. So PetPlan doesn't do that, and that's really, really important as well. So how does all of this work? How do you figure out which plan is for you? I am going to break it down and show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing that you have to decide on is what type of annual coverage do you want to be comfortable with. Now you can go down, like I said, all the way down to $2,500 a year and all the way up to unlimited. And of course, depending on these things that we're going to talk about in a second, is going to determine how much you're going to pay for your premium every month. So the amount that I picked that I thought was good for me was $15,000 a year. I thought that that was a pretty high number, and I almost went to $10,000 a year because I thought, well, I think $10,000 a year would be plenty enough. However, once you choose your annual coverage, you cannot change it. So for the little bit of difference that it was, I believe it was like maybe $3 to $5 a month difference, I decided to go with the $15,000 a year annual coverage. That means that they will pay up to $15,000 a year in vet costs for each one of my pets that I have policies on. The next thing that you have to choose is what your deductible is going to be. There are deductibles as low as $100, and then they go up from there. I chose a $100 deductible, but a $200 deductible was something that I considered, but I figured, again, since it was only a few dollars more, I figured I would go with the $100 deductible because we do visit the eye vet quite often, and a lot of times our bill is right around between $200 and $350. So if I chose a $200 deductible, I would basically be paying almost out of pocket for every single visit. So in my case, the $100 deductible made more sense because of our, fairly frequent visits to the eye ophthalmologist for Harper and for Stassi. So that's the next thing that you're gonna pick, your deductible. Okay, so the next thing that you have to pick out, and the last thing that you have to pick out, is how much coinsurance you want to have, and it's in a percentage. So this amount is the difference between your deductible and what your bill is going to be, and that's the percentage of that bill that they're going to pay. Now, in my previous policies with PetPlan, I had 100% coinsurance. I love that. However, the downside of that is for ER visits and specialists like the eye doctor, they only paid at 70%. Now, the highest amount of coinsurance they have right now is 90%, and that is what I've chosen. So I think in the end, I'm gonna come out better, even though it's not 100%, which I would prefer, 90% is pretty good. And that's the amount of coinsurance that I chose for my policies. Now, your premium is determined by all three of those things. It's determined by how much coinsurance you choose, what kind of deductible, and what kind of annual coverage you choose. It also is determined by the age of your pet. So the younger your pet is, the cheaper it is. Now, it will go up, just like all insurances. As we get older in our human insurance, our insurance goes up as well. So it's really important that you get on with pet insurance as early as possible to get those years of low paying premiums. And that's the years where a lot of things can go wrong as well, especially accidents. They eat stuff, they fall off things, you know, things do happen. Another thing that your premium is determined by is your particular breed. Now, they do charge more if you have a breed that's prone to more problems, such as an English Bulldog. Those poor dogs are plagued with all sorts of problems. So their premium is going to be higher than a Shih Tzu's premium or a Poodle's premium. So keep in mind that your particular breed will also determine what premium you're gonna pay per month. So to recap, this is what I got for my pets. I got $15,000 a year in coverage. I got a $100 deductible, and I got 90% coinsurance. And in Stassi's case, with those coverages, my premium is $33.56 a month. My premium before was about $40 a month, so it did go down about $6 or $7. So for Stassi, $15,000 a year, $100 deductible, 90% coinsurance on a Shih Tzu that is 1 year old is $33.56 a month. So you can choose whatever plan you think is best for you, your pet, and your budget. You can look at, you know, if you can only put aside $15 a month, then see what you can get for $15 a month. But as long as you have something, even if it's just for catastrophic illnesses, it's better than anything, because you know, any pet can be playing and they can tear an ACL, and that surgery is about $5,000 or $6,000. So just think about that. So even if you get something, you know, on the lower end, something is better than nothing for sure. So I wanted to give you an example of how a claim reimbursement would work. And I will give you this example based on Stassi's coverages and Harper's too, because I have the same thing. So say your bill is $1,000. The first thing that you're going to do is deduct your 90% coinsurance. So that leaves you with $900. Then you're going to deduct your deductible, which in my case is $100. So that leaves you with $800. So on a bill of $1,000, PetPlan will pay $800. So I'm paying $200 on a $1,000 bill based on my coverage. That's pretty good. I like that, and that's where I feel comfortable with. Now, whenever you get a new policy with PetPlan, there are some waiting period exclusions. So you can't just, you know, when your pet gets sick or they tear an ACL and you go to the ER or the specialty vet and they say this surgery is going to be $5,000, and then you run home and get insurance. It doesn't work that way. There are waiting periods. So the waiting period for illnesses is 15 days. So there can't be anything documented on your pet's chart for at least 15, or for 15 days, not at least 15 days, but for 15 days before you would get your policy, or they will not cover it. The waiting period for accidents is 5 days. And they do get your vet records, and if anything at all is written on those vet records, then they will exclude that. So keep those waiting periods in mind when you're getting a new policy. Well, hello there. She's coming to see you guys. Another thing that is very important in Petplan's policies is the knee exclusion. And what that is what I was talking about, the ACLs, the patellas. Your pet's knees in all 4 of their legs can be excluded for 6 months if you do not bring your pet to the vet within the first 30 days and get what they call a knee exclusion. Now, all that is your vet examining your pet's knees. It's not any kind of special test, not an MRI or a CAT scan or anything. It's basically just them manipulating the knees to make sure that they don't have a torn ACL or luxating patella or anything like that. And then them documenting on the chart that the patellas are good. If you do that within the first 30 days of getting your policy, then your knee exclusion of 6 months is not valid. They will, if something would happen the next day or a week from then or 2 months from then they would cover it. If you don't do this, then nothing with the knees will be covered for 6 months past your policy inception date. So my suggestion is to get to the vet within 30 days of getting your policy, get those knees checked out, and get them to document on their chart that their knees were fine. In case you would ever have to, need that, you will have that documented. It's also very important, especially when you have pet insurance, but anytime you have a pet, it's important that you get annual visits. Now, as you guys know, I do not vaccinate my pets annually, but I still bring them to the vets for their annual visits because they just need to be checked out. They need to be felt up and down and give them like an annual visit. And if you have pet insurance, that's going to be required. It's in that fine little print. So make sure you bring your pets to the vets, at least your pets to the vets, your pets to the vet at least once a year to get their annual checkup. Now, like I said, I have been having Petplan insurance for quite a few years, and I have used it many, many, many times. It is very, very easy to make a claim. Once you get your policy, you go on to gopetplan.com, which is their website, and you create an account. All of your policy documents will be in your account, and they're very, very easily accessible. So if your pet has to go to a vet, all you would do is log into your account and download a claim form, fill it out. I usually fill it out myself, but you can have your vet fill it out if you would like. And make sure you get the copy of the bill and the copy of all of the doctor's notes. And then you will either fax, mail, or email all of that information into Petplan, and then you will get your check after they review everything. It is very, very important that you make sure that your veterinarian is documenting everything that needs to be documented. And so it's just a habit of mine when I go to the vet, when they hand me my invoice, I also ask for a copy of the doctor's notes. And they're always more than happy to just run you a copy on the copy machine, and then I put that in with their records. And then if I have to, make a claim, I have that. Now, something that is very important as well is if you bring your pet to the vet for a specific illness, and then you have to follow up 2 weeks later, or if the ongoing problem is something that is still going on a month later, and you wind up having 5 visits for the same problem, you don't pay 5 different deductibles and co-insurance and all of that. You only pay the one time for that one specific illness. Now, if that illness clears up and then comes back the next year, well then that's a separate claim. But if it's an ongoing claim, then you just pay the one deductible and the one co-insurance, no matter if you have been to the vet 5 times for that specific problem. So that is where getting the doctor's notes for each vet visit is very, very important, because you never know if you're going to, need those to do any, follow-up claims with your pet insurance company. So I think that is about it. In closing, I did want to say that I am not affiliated with PetPlan. I don't work for them. This is just the company that I use, and I like to share, what I'm doing in case any of you are interested in, knowing about the things that we do. And so I'm not affiliated with them. So I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting free insurance. I wish. But I'm not getting free pet insurance for doing this review. Nothing like that. I am, however, on their referral program, which any one of you can do as well. You can refer friends and they will give you, I think it's like, I don't know, an Amazon gift card or something like that if you refer a friend. So if you are interested in PetPlan Insurance and you consider us your friend and you would like to mention us, we would appreciate it. And the way you do that is by calling the 1-866 number that I will leave in this video right here, or right here. I think I'll put it down there. So this number right here is the number you would have to call. I will also leave that number in the description box below. And all you have to do is mention our email address. And it's stacythezoo@gmail.com. When you call in to get your policy, and I believe you get a gift card as well, or something like that. Anyway, it's a referral program. It's just a refer a friend program. It's the same kind of program that the phone company has, or something like that, and anyone can do it. So we would appreciate if you would mention our email if you are going to get a policy. But if not, then that's perfectly fine as well. We just wanted to mention it. So I think that concludes this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this gave you lots of good information. I highly suggest you going to look them up. You can find them at gopetplan.com. I will leave that address in the description box below. If you're going to use us as a referral, I do believe you have to call them rather than sign up online. I'm pretty sure that you have to call them and just mention that email. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will take Miss Sleepyhead up so you can say goodbye, and we will catch you on the next video. Bye, guys. Hope you have a great day. Say bye, Daddy. See you guys later. Bye-bye.